What up, YouTube? This is Wavy Wayne, wavywayne.com, and today we're gonna be checking out my new favorite studio monitors, the Adam A7X. If you're not joined already with the Wavy Seals, make sure you click on the link in the description or just go to seals.wavywayne.com. Join the Wavy Seals. There's an army of engineers and producers out here, and we all helping each other, all right? All right, so yeah, that's right. These are my new favorite studio monitors. And I know y'all probably seen a lot about these monitors because I seen a lot about them. I've been looking at a lot of reviews about them, man. And pretty much I was sick and tired of looking at these monitors, so I'm glad that Adam hit me up and asked me to check them out and do a review. Now, when they told me to do this review, they told me, man, look, this is going to be an unbiased review. Yeah, we're going to give you the monitors, but you can say whatever you want to about the monitors. And y'all know I'm always keep it funky. I'm going to keep it 100. But yo, let's talk about these monitors for real though. If you checked out my unboxing video, then you know that I actually replaced the first monitors that I ever had, my KRK Rocket 5s. I bought those way back when I was going to Full Sail. And when I got these Adam A7Xs, I was like, man, I can't have 4 sets of monitors sitting up on my desk here. That's just a little overkill. So I decided to swap out the KRK Rocket 5s and put the Adam A7Xs in its place. Now, comparing the Rocket 5s and the A7Xs, that's not even a comparison. It's pretty much unfair to do that. The reason I even kept those Rocket 5s around for so long is because I knew them. I was comfortable with them. They were my first ever monitors, and not only did I record and mix music on them, but I also just listened to music. Like, you know, they were in my college dorm. I would just listen to my music when I was in school. So, yeah, I knew those monitors a lot, and I was just comfortable with them. It didn't take long for me to get comfortable with the Adam A7Xs. I did go through the whole burn-in period. Now, I heard this from watching another YouTuber, but I was trying to find it in the manual. He said that it said in the manual that you should burn in or basically break in the monitors when you first get them. And you know, when I first plugged these monitors up and got them turned on, set it up, I did find that it was like a little boomy, a little bass heavy. So I had to do a few things in my room to kind of adjust for that. One of the things I had to do was actually move the monitors farther apart. I had my Rocket 5s pretty close, you know, to me in my little equilateral monitoring triangle that I was using, but I found that the Adams needed to be just a little bit further apart to help get some of that separation in the low end. It was just kind of getting boomy. And I'm sure it's just a combination of the room I'm in as well as the desk and everything else. I am using some Oralex kind of little pads to sit those monitors on to help decouple them from the desk, and that helps as well. One of the main things that I like about these Adam A7X monitors is the clarity in the mid-range, okay? Now, I know I put this on Instagram or something like that if you're following, but the clarity in that mid-range, man, I listened to a mix that I had already done and turned into a client, man, and I actually heard some stuff in that low mid-range kind of area that I wasn't able to hear previously, and I heard it on the Adam A7Xs, so that automatically right there was a good sign for me. So I was like, yo, there's definitely some detail and stuff that I have been missing. Even using the Yamaha HS8 and the Yamaha HS5s, I was still missing something in that low mid range, all right? Now, just a little bit about my studio in here. I have the Yamaha HS8s and they're connected to the sub. Those are kind of like the wow factor for the clients and all that. I turn it up and I like to hear it nice and loud, but I also do a fair amount of mixing on those, especially when it comes to the music, because I like bass. I like to make sure my low end is nice and tight. I like to hear it, and I like to feel the energy of that music while I am mixing, right? The Adams also allow you to have that same feeling. The low end response for these 7-inch drivers is pretty amazing, all right? It's really knocking. It fills this room up with bass and low end, and it's not just like muddy, nasty low end. It is actually clear low end that I can tell different stuff apart and pick different things apart about that low end and get way more detailed in the lower frequency spectrum than I was able to without the Adams. All right? Now, of course, the Adams are known for the X-Art ribbon tweeter, and yes, I have found that everything they say about that X-Art ribbon tweeter is true. All right, one of the main things for me personally is the reduced levels of ear fatigue. Listening to those Yamaha HS7s for a long time, it starts to burn you out after several hours, right? So if you mix it on those 5-6 hours, you're gonna start to get a little bit ear fatigue. I have not experienced that same kind of phenomenon with the A7Xs. Listening to them over long periods of time has been cool. And so far, what I had these about 2-3 weeks now, and I've mixed, you know, hip hop, pop records, R&B records. I've been mixing so much on these monitors because it is a blast. Like, it really is a whole lot more fun to mix with these, and I realize my mixes so much faster because I'm not fighting to know whether the monitors are telling me the truth or not. After I finish a mix, I always like to go out to the car, do a car test, and you know, about 90% of the time since I've been starting to use these Adam A7Xs, I've been really happy with the translation when I go out to the whip to do the car test. Like, what I'm getting out these monitors is what's coming out. That is the sound. It's not hyping it up too much or too little. I did though, you know, find that the low end was still a little bit much for me, you know, like I was saying earlier. But all I had to do was, you know, flip the monitor around and go to the back of it. They have the adjustments. They have a tweeter level and a high shelf adjustment and a low shelf adjustment. Now, for me, it was just a little bit too boomy. And when I'm mixing, I don't want to hear too much of that low end from like my main monitors, because again, honestly, like, listening to low end too much, that can cause you to have ear fatigue, and it just muddies everything up. So if you have too much low end response going on, it's just going to muddy up your mix and just make it harder for you to pick out the different changes that you want to make. All right, that's just a little tip that one of my OGs told me back in the day, man. Sometimes that while you're mixing, it may be crucial for you to just kind of mute the bass and mute the low end frequency tracks and get everything else in, and just add that bass back in when you're pretty much done with everything else. And trust me, you won't miss a beat without it. But yeah, that is, you know, just another thing. Now, the Adam A7Xs are beautiful, right? They're a beautiful design. They look great. I like that carbon fiber whole look. I love that the power switch is right on the front, right? Now, having the woofers front ported is great, especially for y'all who are in smaller studio rooms, right? What that's gonna allow you to do is have those monitors closer to the wall. I see a lot of my followers and my Wavy seals out there. A lot of y'all got the monitors kind of close to the wall because that's how you have to have it for the limitations of your room. But having the ports coming out the front, it helps to reduce that bass buildup that you can get by having the monitors rear ported. So yeah, that is a great addition as well to this design. The Adam A7Xs cost about $750 each. So that's gonna bring you in at what, $1,500 for the pair. Now, that's not cheap at all, right? But if you are going to invest in something, your studio monitors is what you should invest in. As an audio engineer, what we're hearing coming from our speakers is everything. If our speakers are lying to us, then we're lying to ourselves and we're lying to our clients, and our mixes are never gonna get where we want them to be. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't trust your monitors, then you can't get a great mix out of it. So knowing your monitors and trusting them is gonna be crucial. If you're gonna put money somewhere in your studio, put the money in your monitors, all right? And acoustic treatment, of course, right? Those two things, acoustically treating your room and having the proper monitors, those are gonna save you many hours of headaches and frustration and just automatically level you up in the game. Now, I could talk for days and days and days about these monitors, but I just advise for you to go and listen to a pair yourself. There are studios everywhere. You can find them at every store. Go listen to a pair of these, put them in your room, see how you like them, and I guarantee you this is going to be a major upgrade for a lot of y'all studios, all right? Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to Adam Audio. I can't wait to get back to mixing, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video, all right? Don't forget to be dope.